The series we started where we are discussing the Indian economy, a revision of Indian economy with all the important concepts. Okay, 1 second. Okay, we started this revision of Indian economy with all the important concepts. We started discussing on monetary policy and all. Uh, this is there is an academic combat. Every month there is an academic combat. Every week, every Sunday there is an academic combat, and you can enroll for this unacademy combat and you can win a scholarship. Yeah, there is a scholarship worth 4 crore pool of scholarship. You can, yes, you can enroll it for free and you can use the code RAJUBG. You can use this code. Okay. And the next batch, the previous batch started on 7th of April. You can join even now for this batch. You can join even now, and you can always use the code RAJUBG. You can use this code RAJUBG. Okay, and this is a mega subscription offer where you can subscribe for an academy plus 1 year for 1 year plan and for 2 year plan. You can subscribe for that where you will get a extended validity till July 21. Yes, July 2022, July 31, 2022. Yeah, and by the best educators of an academy, this is a 1 year batch course on GS, and this is the Crack CSE Prelims course where they will comprehensively discuss 3500 MCQs with concepts, with analysis. Everything will be done. Okay. And this is a 1 year batch. You can join now. You can use the code RAJUBG if you want the discount. And this is a 2 year batch, and this is a NCRT batch. This is an NCRT batch where they will comprehensively cover all the NCRTs with details, with tests, with revision tests, and everything will be provided. And this is a 3 month batch for UPSC CSE prelims. Yeah, this is an academy plus where there will be live classes, and this is a iconic package where there will be personal guidance, test analysis, expert guidelines, study materials, study planner. Everything will be provided, and you can opt for any of these subscriptions. You can just use the code RAJUBG, RAJU. Sorry for this. You can just use the code RAJUBG. Okay, and yes, you can also use this code in your app. And this offer was valid till April 14th. Even this offer is extended. You can take a 1 year subscription. You can take a 1 year subscription and get these 20 books worth 10,000 rupees completely free. These 20 books worth 10,000 rupees completely free. So let's start the session. Let's crack it. See, in previous session, we discussed on monetary policy. What is monetary policy? Who will decide on monetary policy? And what is the time period for every monetary policy? For every 2 months, there will be a monetary policy, and it will be decided by monetary policy committee. It meets 6 times in a year. I mean, for every 2 months, Every 2 months, this monetary policy committee will meet, which consists of 6 members, 3 members from RBI side and 3 members from government side. We discussed this. We also discussed some of the quantitative tools, all the quantitative tools, like in reserve ratios, it's cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio, and in liquidity adjustment facility, it's repo rate, reverse repo rate, marginal standing facility. Yes, okay. And we understood the difference between what is the difference between repo rate, what is the difference between repo rate and reverse repo rate and MSF. What is the relationship between those three goals that we discussed? And we discussed about bank rates. What is the difference between bank rate and repo rate? Which is a short term loan, which is a long term loan? And for long term, we introduced something called as long term repo operations. What do you mean by that? Long term repo operations. We discussed this. Okay. We also discussed open market operations, selling and buying of government securities by RBI. Okay. With the yes, with the market, with the economy is called as what? Open market operations. Okay. And I told you what do you mean by government securities. If you want to take a loan from someone, he will give something as a surety. If government want loan for something, they will give government securities as a surety or government securities, or we call it as GSECs. Okay. Then we discussed what do you mean by market stabilization scheme. This we introduced in the demonetization time. Okay. Where there was more inflation, there was more money supply. Okay. Then we discussed few qualitative tools also. One is moral suasion, direct action, selective credit control. Yeah, we discussed few qualitative tools, and we discussed how the questions are being asked on this topic. Okay, on quantitative tools and qualitative tools. Okay, this is one of the previous year question. They asked on your one of the quantitative tool, that is open market operations. What do you mean by open market operations? Open market operation refers to what? It is purchase and sale of government securities by RBI is called as open market operations. This we discussed. Yes. Then which of the following measures would I told you the relationship between money supply and quantitative tools. How the RBI will use how the RBI will use the quantitative tools to increase or to decrease the money supply. This we discussed. Yes. And then okay. Then what we discussed. This is prelims 2015 question. They directly asked which of them is a part of monetary policy. Anyone can answer this in the comment section. Take it as option A. Take this as option B. Take this as option C. Take this as option D. Which can be the answer? What could be the answer for this? They just asked which of the following are part of monetary policy. In monetary policy, you can have both quantitative tools and qualitative tools. Yes. Anyone can answer in the comment section. Okay. See here, this bank rate and open market operations are the quantitative tools of your monetary policy. So this comes under monetary policy, part of monetary policy. 1 and 2 is the answer for this. Yes. And then they asked about SLR. Find the correct statement about SLR. For this, you should know what is SLR and what is the difference between CRR and SLR. For this, you should know that. Anyone can answer this? They can tell me in the chat section. They can answer this in the comment section. Take those options are as A, B, C, D. Option A 1, 2 and 3. Option B 1 and 3 only. Option C 2 and 3 only. Option D only 2. What can be the answer for this? Correct answer for this? You can tell me in the comment section. Okay, I will tell you. See the first statement. To meet SLR, commercial bank must keep cash only. If they are keeping cash only, that is not SLR, that is CRR, cash reserve ratio. Okay, I explained you the difference between CRR and SLR. Okay, and how they will calculate the CRR, how they will calculate the SLR. Okay, see the second statement. So first statement is wrong. SLR is maintained by the banks with themselves. Yes, this is correct. CRR is to be kept with RBI in the form of cash only, whereas SLR is maintained by the banks with themselves. Yes, this is correct. This statement is correct. Yes, Anuj, good, very good, Anuj. SLR restricts the bank's leverage in in pumping more money into the economy. Yes, if we increase the SLR, then the money supply will decrease. If the money supply will decrease, the pumping of money into the economy decreases. So it's 2 and 3 only. Option C. Yes. Then see. Again, we discussed on. There is another question on SLR. There are many questions in your previous year question papers on CRR, SLR, and other quantitative tools. Okay, usually these three are important: CRR, SLR, repo. These three are very important. Okay, see here, when the Reserve Bank of India reduces the SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, by 50 basis points, which of the following is likely to happen? Okay, first option, India's GDP growth rate increases drastically. Foreign institutional investors may bring more capital into our country. Third option, scheduled commercial banks may cut their lending rates. Okay. Fourth option, it may drastically reduce the liquidity to the banking system. What can be the answer for this? You can tell me in the comment section. Anyone? Anyone can answer this in the comment section. Okay. See here, whenever the RBI reduces the SLR, reduces the statutory liquidity ratio, that too by 50 basis points, then there is a chance that scheduled commercial banks may cut their lending rates. It's not compulsory, but there is a chance because they will get, yes, if there is a decrease, if there is a, I told you the relationship between quantitative tools and the money supply. Whenever you decrease any quantitative tool, the money supply will increases. Why? Because commercial banks will cut their lending rates. That's why, yes. And I told you about bi-monthly policy report. What all will be there in bi-monthly policy report, and these stances of bi-monthly policy rates. One is neutral stance, another one is calibrated tightening, another one is accommodative stance. Yes, in neutral stance, the RBI may cut the repo rate or keep it unchanged, or they may raise the repo rate. They may, in calibrated tightening, they can either hold, they can either keep it as it is, or they can increase the repo rate. But there is no chance of decreasing the repo rate in case of calibrated tightening. In accommodative steps, the RBI may decrease the repo rate or keep it unchanged, but no chances of increasing the repo rate. So these three stances are present in, yes, bi-monthly policy rates of RBI. Now the RBI is following this accommodative stance. Yes. Look, next. Next, we were discussing about banking. See this flowchart, you will understand how the Indian banking system is classified. How the Indian banking system is classified. At one side, it is scheduled banks. At another side, it is unscheduled banks. In scheduled itself, we have a commercial banks, cooperative banks. Okay. In commercial banks, in scheduled commercial banks, we have like various banks, SBI, okay, like Bank of Baroda. Yes, these all comes under scheduled commercial banks. Nationalized bank, all the nationalized banks comes under scheduled commercial banks. Foreign banks, regional rural banks. Okay, and then there are scheduled cooperative banks. Scheduled cooperative, again in scheduled cooperative, we have rural cooperative banks and urban cooperative banks. Okay. In rural cooperative, again short term and long term rural cooperative banks. In urban cooperative banks, single urban cooperative and multi state urban cooperative banks we have. So, this is the classification of Indian banking sector. Yes. Then we were discussing about RBI, how the RBI will manage all the banks and how it is established, by which act. It was established on April 1, 1935, in accordance with the provisions of RBI Act 1934. Okay. And following are the functions of RBI. One is to, issuing of banknotes, securing monetary stability, operate the currency and credit system, yes, maintaining the price stability, to have a modern monetary policy framework to meet the challenge of an increasingly complex economy. Okay, because ours is a complex economy. Okay, and then these are the various functions of central bank, which is RBI. The importance of central bank, yes, like issuing the notes, credit control, prevention of money value, establishing government control, yes, maintaining foreign exchange reserves, implementation of plan, control of foreign exchange, monitoring banking system, control of money market, e- equitable distribution of wealth, yes, development of manpower, everything are the, these are the functions and importance of RBI, which is our central bank. Yes. Then we discussed the main functions of RBI. Okay. If we divide the main functions of RBI, first function is monetary function. What is the monetary function? So RBI is the one who decides the monetary policy and ensures the price stability. Okay. And also ensures the growth, targets on growth of the economy. And it was, yes, it was created by RBI Act 1934. Yes. Then regulator and supervisor functional system. RBI acts as a regulator and supervisor of various other banks. Yes, a regulator and supervisor of various other banks. Yeah, it prescribes broad parameters of banking, banking operations. Yes, whenever we want to merge the banks, two banks that we are doing now. Okay, recently we did many mergings. Okay, many regulations that is done by RBI. Okay, and maintaining the public confidence in the banking system, that is the main function of RBI. And RBI is the manager of foreign exchange, some foreign exchange reserves. Okay, like India have a foreign exchange reserve of $580 billion, $590 billion, that is maintained by RBI, that is managed by RBI. It manages the foreign exchange reserves of India. It facilitates external trade and payment. Yes, everything will be facilitated by RBI. Okay, and then issuer of currency. The currency and the notes are issued by RBI. You know that. Whereas coins are issued by government. Okay, to give the public adequate quantity of supply of currency notes and coins in good quality, that is also the main function of RBI. Yes, and developmental role. It performs a wide range of promotional functions to support national objective such as even for the unemployment, economic growth, poverty, everything will be managed by RBI. Yes, our central bank. And financial inclusion, like opening up the ATMs. Yes, uh, giving boost to digital transactions. See this, no frills account. See this part, no frills account. What do you mean by that? In the recent Jandan Yojana, Jandan scheme, we allowed the people to have a bank account with zero balance. We allowed the people to have a bank account with zero balance. Even that is the function of RBI, used to make the financial inclusion of the village people, of the normal people. Yes, okay. And there is a use of technology, like I told you. Since we introduced Digital India, we are stressing more on what digital payments, less cash economy. Yes, because of the usage of transparency, direct benefit transfer, and everything. Yes, okay. Then there was a previous year question regarding to this, regarding the functions of RBI. They just asked, RBI acts as banker's bank. What does it mean? Anyone can give the answer to this in your comment section. To this in the comment section. What do you mean by RBI acts as banker's bank? What do you mean by that? Okay, see the first statements. Other banks retain their deposits with RBI. This is correct. Yes. RBI lends funds to the commercial banks in the times of need. This is also correct. Yes. RBI advises the commercial banks on monetary matters. This is also correct. The correct answer is 1, 2, and 3. One second. The correct answer is 1, 2, and 3. Any doubts? Yes. RBI regulates the commercial banks in matters of what? I told you, whatever the banks will do, that is all regulated by RBI. Liquidity of assets, branch expansion, merger of banks, winding up of banks means closing of banks. This is all done by RBI itself. All of the above is the correct answer. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we discussed about monetary policy and also we discussed about the banking system, that too especially with respect to RBI. Yes, yes. Keep watching this session on discussing all the important concepts of economy within your prelims 2021, that is within June 27. Yes, thank you for